Welcome on into the Recruiting Roundup. I'm Jordan Ham. We have a lot to get to. We have a couple of commitments, quite a few offers to get to, and with that, I'm going to bring in my good buddy Jason Jewell. And Jason, have a couple of commitments kicking us off this week. We're going to start with Lance Lawson.
One of the top playmakers in the state over the last 2 or 3 years out of Red Mountain. He's a guy, Jordan, we've seen do pretty much everything: play quarterback, play wide receiver, play running back. I think he can play on the defensive side of the ball. You know, he commits to Southern Utah, a program that made the FCS playoffs last year. And Southern Utah has done a great job recruiting the state. Getting Lawson is just another good get for Southern Utah out of the state of Arizona. Lawson's a guy that had, other offers from the Big Sky, including Montana and Northern Colorado. A kid that I'm just a big fan of. He's a little bit taller. I don't think he's going to the Big Sky Conference. I think he's playing at a Power 5 school.
And another school that recruits the Valley very well, San Diego, also picks up a commitment from Desert Vista quarterback Derek Klein.
Yeah, and I think this is a great commitment. I think he fits in exactly what University of San Diego does offensively. You saw them up in their playoff game against Northern Arizona in that win. They're under center. He's a traditional pocket quarterback, big gunslinger, and he's a guy that had a bunch of offers from other Ivy League type schools like Brown. And Morehead State, another FCS school that's traditionally a strong academic program, but he also did have an FCS scholarship offer from the University of Idaho.
Now we're taking a look at the offers and a couple of underclassmen picking up Pac-12 offers.
Yeah, so two of the top players and prospects in next year's class, 2019, received Pac-12 offers. First one is Noah Poligate over at Williamsfield. He has an offer from Arizona State. And then Ty Robinson, a big defensive lineman, offensive tackle type, over at Higley, he adds an offer from Oregon. These two guys really heating up. And there's a theme, though, between these two guys, and I think recruits should pay attention to it, is they're both very versatile. If you look at Poligate, he's a guy that can play safety, and he's played running back and receiver on the offensive side of the ball. And we look at Robinson, he's a guy that can play defensive end in the right system, defensive tackle. He's played tight end in the past, and I think he has a frame to grow to be an offensive tackle. So you look at the versatility of these guys, that's part of the reason that they're so heavily recruited.
Now shifting gears, we saw Billy Napier, we saw Rob Sale move on from Arizona State to UL Lafayette, and they offer a couple of in-state offensive linemen.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes a whole lot of sense, with Coach Sale recruiting these two guys and then moving over to Louisiana Lafayette and then extending offers as well. To Hunter McGinnis, the Hamilton offensive tackle, named the state's top offensive lineman about a month ago. He's been committed to Arizona State and is still committed to Arizona State, but did not sign in that early signing period. So Sale is trying to flip him and get him to go to Louisiana Lafayette along with him and Napier. And then Noah Nelson, a big-time offensive tackle at Williamsfield High School. Sale was the first to offer him at camp last year before he'd even played a down of varsity football. Big kid with a bright future. He's about 6'7" and 255 pounds in that range. So a guy that's going to be heavily recruited for it's all said and done.
And as we're approaching signing day, we're seeing NAU continue to throw offers out to Valley playmakers, and two guys picked up offers from the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, another Williamsfield player, defensive tackle, Jackson Vaught. He gets his first Division I offer that comes from NAU. And then a guy that's really starting to heat up, Ricky Manning, a linebacker, safety hybrid type player over at Notre Dame Prep. He has an offer from NAU, but he's tripping to Idaho. Weber State's also going to get a visit from him. He's a guy, like I said, is really starting to heat up from the Big Sky schools and getting these offers.
And wrapping up the offers, we have two guys who have spent a lot of time on the varsity field, both making plays in the trenches and in the secondary as well, and two highly academic schools come calling.
Yeah, so Vincent Elrod, a very talented linebacker from Notre Dame Prep. He has an offer from the University of San Diego. Like we mentioned, it's a school that's really recruited Arizona very well. And then one of the most versatile players in the state, a guy that I really like, is Delano Stelgado over at Mountain Point, a guy that can play safety, can play corners, play wide receiver. He was the fastest man at several camps this summer. He has an offer from Georgetown.
And we're going to wrap things up now, Jason. With the national championship, we saw what Tua Tagovailoa could do. True freshman came in, was able to lead the Crimson Tide back. Alabama's been talking to a lot of Arizona quarterbacks in Brock Purdy. They've offered Jacob Conover, a 2019 QB, and then Jamari Joyner. How do you think seeing Tua step into that role and potentially being the starter moving forward, how do you think that could affect the way Alabama recruits these Arizona quarterbacks?
Well, I think it greatly affects it. You look at a kid that's a true freshman that goes in and he replaces a player that was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, the writing's kind of on the wall now. You know, a lot of talk was, is Hurt going to leave Alabama now? And Tua steps in and ends up being a 3-year starter. So yeah, I think it greatly affects the recruitment of these 3 Arizona quarterbacks.
Well, we have a lot of storylines to keep in track, both in-state and nationally, for these Arizona football players. Make sure to keep it to the recruiting roundup here on Sports 360 AZ each and every week as we approach signing day.